We've just launched the interim findings of the Housing Frontline Futures research, and it's been really exciting. We had a packed out room in our workshop, and Julie and I talked about the main themes that have been found in the research. We had lots of Q&A, a few themes pulled out by some of the workshop participants that really resonated with them. One of the things that we've reassured the workshop participants is that this piece of research is going to be filled out with a fuller report which will be launched in June at the Manchester CIH conference, and we're going to come up with a series of recommendations for the housing sector, and I think that the CIH are very interested in following that up with action points so that the report is utilised as a very practical tool for people in the housing sector to think about the future of frontline roles.
Working back to basics, back to being tenant-centred. You're going out to meet the tenants, you're dealing with the tenants, their issues, whether it be rents, whether it be neighbourhood disputes and things like that. And we've developed a tenancy sustainment team to work alongside the housing officers, so that if we're dealing with complicated cases that's taking up a lot of time, we can pass that to the sustainment team and they can run with that. But you're basically going back to what the old-fashioned housing officer role was.
Currently, I think you need to split the roles because housing officers should wear so many hats, and it's getting to the stage you can't do that. You need to have specialised housing officers, maybe income-based, estates-based. I think it's getting down to we're trying to split the roles and specialise in it, but there's still elements in that job we can't specialise, and we don't like it, we're reluctant, but we'll have to signpost a number of individuals. But trying to get the feedback from the other agencies because you have no control and you're missing out a bit of the picture at that time.
You're caught between the rock and the hard place. In order to provide the support, there's a cost involved in that. One's identifying it, two's delivering it so that they can actually sustain their tenancies. It's the balance between support and enforcement at that point. At the end of the day, it's our tenants need to be satisfied that they are getting a service that merits the rental that we're actually charging.
Relate to some of that commercially minded, social party type stuff. They realise that their only income comes from rent. So maybe it's the organisations that will determine the role of the frontline housing professional. Like you're trying to negotiate all the time. I mean, whether it's a customer that's buying something off you or whether it's a customer stroke tenant, still providing a service as such, and it's all about trying to negotiate. They want the best service they can get and you're trying to get the best service you can offer. So
do you think that's a big part of the job then, negotiation?
Massive part of the job, massive part of the job. Can't you just go be a one-trick pony? I wouldn't say no way you can be a one-trick pony in this job now. You've got
housing officer role, I think now is more hands-on. You have to know your customers a lot more now. It's all about sustaining tenancies, keeping people in the property as long as possible.
They've got to be on top of their game, they've got to be unfazed at times, they deal with a multitude of different issues, and they provide lots and lots of advice, counselling. Tenants see them as someone that they can confide in. So having all of these skills is essential, really, if you want to be a really successful housing officer. You wouldn't necessarily say you would want to be an expert in some of these fields, but having an awareness and being able to signpost them into the specialist agencies would be a smart thing to do. Experience of life, engaging with people, the can-do attitude as well. That's really, really important. Empathising with tenants, understanding is so important. So I'm not a big fan of saying we are only interested in people that are academically very well qualified.
Like housing officers are in a position just now where we expect their tool bag to be full just because they're housing officers. We expect them to have a range of skills and experience just because they've got the title housing officers. I think we need to build in a huge amount of support for housing officers to enable them to make those decisions, to do the job without feeling nervous. Can I take that decision? Can I take that decision? Absolutely, yes, you can. So that would be a move towards more of looking at the bigger picture about tenants being our business and about tenants and housing officers being able at the doorstep, at the point of contact, to use that business head and to move forward.
But if anybody would like to add their voice, then please get in contact with me, either on Twitter @Social Housing or via my email address, which is available from CIH and from De Montfort University, and lend your voice to the research. We have until June when we're publishing, so any time over the next month, then please get involved.